If you've been looking around for a decent game to pick up recently, maybe you've come to the right place. Even though February has been a fruitful month for new games, and we haven't actually made enough videos lately, today I'd like to make up for you. Here's over 20 huge new games released just these past few days. Let's go. First things first, Call of Duty Warzone Mobile 2 Season 2 is just here and it's packed with new content. Not only that, you can actually finally have hands on it almost anywhere in the world. Many new regions that were previously unavailable went official, and just so you know, it could potentially take you down over 20 gigabytes in total. If not, it could actually go as low as 4 gigabytes. Anyway, there's already a bunch of graphical options new. Many players are complaining about the graphical requirements. In any case, it just runs well on most phones, and since yesterday, it's actually downloaded over 1 million times on the Play Store alone. Moving on to number 2, we've got over here something called Beast Bio-Exo Arena Suit Team. It's a long name indeed. It's a 3 versus 3 arena-style third-person shooter from a team who's perfect in making Team Royal mobile games such as SUP multiplayer racing, LOL kart, many more. Unfortunately, you see, Beast Exo might actually never come to Android, but it's still worth the mention because the game is almost flawless in every way. Graphics, replay smoothness, and overall quality, 10 out of 10 if I could, 20 for sure. Been available on PCs for a whole year now to this day. Number 3, we've got here something called World Eternal Online. Well, first off, it's a MOBA MMORPG mix. Now, globally available on Android, although through its first open alpha, meaning you can actually pretty much easily sign up and play it right now. Now, World Eternal Online is basically a sandbox MMORPG that includes factions, ratings, dungeons, territory control, a player-driven economy, and much more. You can play this one against AI or in PvP, sell, trade, collect, and upgrade your heroes as well. With almost 1 million downloads so far on the Play Store alone. Even though it's available now on the iOS as well, Angry Dad, in case you missed it here, is an arcade-style life sim. In fact, the game has been around for almost 3 years now, but it's now playable offline even on the Play Store. The game basically holds you responsible for the life of a single dad with a newborn and a child, and trying to fix every problem so he can get back to watching his football. Pretty good game, really comedy. It's about 150 megabytes in total. Great game. With over 100,000 downloads since days ago. Number 5, we have on both Google and the App Store a game called Devil Slayer. Well, first off, it's an action RPG offline game in nature. You can play this one both on and offline. Fully releasing on iOS, however, later on 29th of February. But it's already available on the Play Store for free, now globally. If you like your action RPG games with idle stuff, elements, and a lot of fast hack and slash action, this one is perfectly designed to fill that specific gap. But at the moment, a tad laggy, a little buggy, and takes you about 1 gigabyte in total. Moving on to number 6, we've got over here NBA 2K24 by 2K Official, now available globally on Android and iOS for free. This game, you see, works with a controller, it has a single player and a multiplayer, and by far the finest game in today's list in replay. It's a sport game, however, not something most of you would pick, but if you're looking for a decent, super well-made basketball game, this one is a 10 out of 10 in every way. Highly recommended. It's online, offline, and about 3 gigabytes in total. Moving on to number 7, we've got over here Crysis X. Some of you might remember this game from years ago. Taken down because of its servers, but thankfully now back because of all the requests. Crysis X is a survival open world adventure, in fact the dopest survival game released so far into the year, and the biggest in size, scale, not to mention graphically. It takes you down almost 15 gigabytes in total. However, it's an online game, but without a doubt it's the single most graphically advanced game in the list today. Idle lifting over here is now globally available for free, and even offline, if you desire. Previously the game was only in the US, now you can have hands on it anywhere in the world, and have access to all of its previously released content too. It's a pretty simple gem sim RPG and clicker, with a single and a multiplayer PvE component. I don't know, if you're rooting for something addicting, yet pretty simple to access, it's a perfect game on the go, 8 out of 10, pretty good replay and content. With over 10,000 downloads since just yesterday, rated a 5 out of 5 as well. At number 9, we have here a game called Simple Car Simulator Crash 3D, which is, as you can see, a low poly style physics and obstacle based racing game. I like to declare the crown jewel of all the racing games we've suggested so far into the year, specifically the sim games. There is a ton of cars to pick up in the game, ton of obstacles and stages, super simple graphics though, but you won't be able to put the game down if you have a single bit of interest in racing games. At number 10, with just 1,000 downloads since yesterday, underrated possible gem here. Well, haven't played it myself, but a decent looking one and a developer's first book just the same. Minus skill, survival, pretty funny name. Over here's a survival turn-based action strategy in nature. Game's definitely inspired by the grounded console game where the characters are shrunk to the size of an ant and have to deal with normal size but, you know, gigantic insects and bugs. Free game, 500 megabytes in total, is free too. Very honorable mention over here. No longer in pre-register for mobiles, Yes Your Grace made it over to Google and the App Store and is now rated a 5 out of 5 on over 50,000 downloads as of 2 days ago. Game is free. It's possibly the finest kingdom management pixel art sim game ever released on any platform. Originally released over 4 years ago on PCs though, and ever since it's fine-tuned and ported to Switch, now finally here on Android for free. It's about almost a gigabyte in total. That being said, if you manage to make it all the way here, here's a surprise for you. I tried to sneak this one in a video before, but since it's a bit off the charts, you could say, with the babes, well, you'd be surprised to know what we have over here, the game Adore, Goddess of Guardian, is possibly the #1 rated anime card idle RPG we've come across since Watcher of Realms. Not only is it graphically top-notch and super fine in replay, the waifus over here are just out of this world compared to anything you've ever played. And at hands-on, I would say pretty close to Omni Heroes, but this one's even more realistic. 1 gigabyte in total is free. That's not something you do for. Here's a dozen more honorable mentions released just these past few days. Have fun.
Take a picture of you?
Muscle Gorilla!
These arrogant YouTubers. How dare they think they can surpass the popularity of our celebrities? With great popularity comes with a great responsibility. I'll show you.